you so much. Wow. What a night, huh? I mean, already. Granny D, if I was 40 years older, I'd ask her to marry me. Wendell Potter, an honest insurance executive. Who thought it was possible? And Brother Khomeini, poet, instant poetry. I mean, created on the spot. What a beautiful, beautiful night. And Ed Garvey, of course, he's a big man here in Wisconsin and with Bobfest, but we all know if you rendered the BS out of Ed, he would fit in a matchbox. Well, it's just a pluperfect joy to be. Who is this? Okay. Thought that was Dick Cheney for a moment. Scared me. Just a joy to be back here at the Barrymore with you Wisconsin agitators for progressive political change as we get ready to bob along over to Baraboo for another bodacious Bobfest tomorrow. And what a wonderful way to kick it off here. We've got an all-star show with you here tonight. Jeremy Scahill's trying to be with us. He's having one of those airline moments, so he's scurrying. I think he's walking now. Of course. Greg Palast is here, free-range muckraker, intrepid reporter, BBC. Alfred McCoy, your very own, going to be here with us as well. But before they bring us their latest revelations of malicious mendacity in high places, let's begin with a light topic that's sure to lift your spirits. Torture. Well, torture authorized right out of the White House. Torture conducted in your and my name. Torture are us. Who would have thought? Not North Korea, not Iran, us. Now, one good thing that has happened since you and I last gathered here at the Barrymore, 2008, that Bush and his buddy Buckshot Cheney are gone. Solid gone. The folks finally figured out that not only did the emperor have no clothes, he was buck naked and butt ugly. And so they're gone. But even though they are departed, it is important for us, for America, to face up and to own up to what they did. George W. expressed it himself in a moment of attempting articulation back in 2004. Bush said, "You got to get that beady-eyed look, you know. Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country, and neither do we." He was never the quickest bunny in the litter, was he? Well, the worst harm, I think, and the worst horror of the Bush-Cheney regime has been vividly documented in some film clips you're about to see. A documentary called Torturing Democracy. We're not going to get to see the whole thing tonight, maybe 20 minutes of it, but powerful, powerful clips that you will get a sense of it. Written and produced by a longtime friend of mine named Sherry Jones. Sherry and I were raised about 100 miles from each other. She was, unfortunately, on the far side of the Oklahoma border, raised in Shawnee, Oklahoma. And Sherry went from being a University of Oklahoma cheerleader and Miss Teen USA to a preeminent television documentarian. She's won 8 Emmy Awards, 3 George Foster Peabody Awards, 3 Edward R. Murrah Awards, 2 Robert F. Kennedy Awards. She's had a 28-year TV collaboration with Bill Moyers, and she's done dozens of PBS programs. You've seen her work. You probably didn't even know you were looking at it when you did. But she is in the spirit of true American journalism. Mark Twain, Ida Tarbell, Upton Sinclair, I.F. Stone, and yes, Fighting Bob LaFollette. Right here. Sherry has never shied from putting her conscience into her work. She holds up a mirror for us Americans to look into and see ourselves. In fact, Mark Twain expressed it beautifully. He said, loyalty to the country always, loyalty to the government when it deserves it. That's a very different thing. And so, not only does she produce these documentaries like Torturing Democracy, but she also supports action behind it. She's a big supporter of a truth commission to look into what it is that Bush and Cheney are doing. And that's why it's so important that Ed and Bobfest are bringing us even these clips from this documentary tonight, because PBS, the public broadcasting system, allowed no national air date for this documentary, provided no media coverage. But yet truth will out, because PBS stations all across America picked it up, and some of them showing it again and again and again. Torturing Democracy was recently named the best domestic television presentation of the year by the Robert F. Kennedy Center for Justice and Human Rights. It will engage you, it will enrage you, and it should compel you to action. The film has its own website, www.torturingdemocracy.org. If you want to see the whole thing, you can stream it right at that website. You can read the supporting documents, the subsequent documents that they've attained, and to have examples of how to take action. And after the showing, we're going to have Professor Alfred McCoy of your own very by God University of Wisconsin right here, author of A Question of Torture, to visit with you about what it is that we're seeing. So buckle up, here comes the documentary.